Hi, I'm Shelley. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about some of the books I'd like to read in February of this year. Right now I'm filming the last day of January. So I wanted to get this video filmed so I could pick out what books I wanted to read ahead of time. And I really wanted to pick from this jar. If you've seen my other videos, there was 12 books in here, and I'll pick one each month. And last month, of course, the first book I picked was Moby Dick. So at the end of the video, I'll pick from the jar again to see which book I'll be reading from this in February. Let's see, one of the first books I wanted to read in February is A Killing Cold by Kate Alice Marshall. This was an early release from Book of the Month. It comes out actually next Tuesday, February the 4th. And I did also get a early audiobook copy from NetGalley through Macmillan Audio through NetGalley. So I wanted to be able to listen in, read the book before it comes out. So this one, I got a couple chapters read today, so I'd like to get this one read over the weekend before it actually comes out. And it's Theodore Scott met Connor. He's a wealthy and charming member of the powerful Dalton family. 6 months later, they got engaged rather quickly, and then he's bringing her to Idlewood, his family's isolated winter retreat, to meet his family. But there are two things. She has received threatening messages on her cell phone telling her to stay away from Connor. She doesn't know who the texts are from. And also, when she's there, she finds a photo of herself when she was younger at Idlewood. So apparently she was there when she was younger and she doesn't remember. So that's about all I know. So seems like a really good book to read, especially since it's winter, it's cold outside. So I think it's the perfect time of year to read that book. The next one I'm going to be reading is Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. This is going to be a reread for me. I just picked up a few months ago, I picked up the 10th anniversary edition. And I'm going to be reading this one. This book, like I said, this 10th anniversary edition. So this book came out like 10 years ago. I think I read it maybe a few months or the year after it came out. It's basically about civilization's collapse. There's different characters. There's the Hollywood star, this would-be savior, a nomadic group of actors, and they're roaming around the scattered outposts of the Great Lakes region. And they're a performing troupe, more or less. So this is really, the book starts where this flu starts wiping out civilization. And then it goes ahead to like 15 years later to another character who grew up during this. And to me, it's more about what happens afterwards, how they deal with the after effects of collapse of civilization as they knew it, and technology and things like that, and how different people cope with it. So I can't wait to reread this one. Also, another one, I have a couple of early audiobook copies through NetGalley, and one is Finlay Donovan Digs Her Own Grave. And this is the 5th book. It comes out March 4th. So I'll be reading this one, listening to this one before it comes out. And the other one is Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConaghy. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce her last name. This one also comes out on March 4th, and I got the audiobook from Macmillan Audio, also through NetGalley. And I'm looking forward to listening to both of those before they come out in March. And I'll just read a brief description of both of them, just to tell you what they're sort of about. Wild Dark Shore is about a family on a remote island, and a mysterious woman washes ashore. There's a rising storm on the horizon, and the caretakers, Dominic, Salt, and his 3 children, they're caretakers of Shearwater, which is a tiny island off Antarctica, and it's home to the world's largest seed bank. But with the sea levels rising, the salts are now packing up the seeds before they are transported to a safer ground. And I guess they find out what the woman who washes ashore, who she is and what's going on with her, and then she finds out some secrets about the family. So I'm looking forward to that one. And the other one is Finlay Donovan Digs Her Own Grave, which I said is the fifth book. And in this one, her elderly neighbor across the street, a body is found in her backyard, and apparently I think she has first she's a suspect, but then she's cleared, but her house remains a crime scene, so then she has to find somewhere to stay, and it seems like she may stay at Finlay's house. So that's that one. And the other one I want to read in February is The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. This is the first book in a 4-book series. And in this one, in a peaceful retirement village, 4 unlikely friends meet weekly in the Jigsaw Room to discuss unsolved crimes. Together they call themselves the Thursday Murder Club. When a local developer is found dead with a mysterious photograph left next to the body, the friends suddenly find themselves in the middle of their first live case. They might be senior citizens, but they are cleverer than most. As the bodies begin to pile up, can our unorthodox but brilliant gang catch the killer before it's too late? So I'm looking forward to this one. I have another couple of books in the series, and I've heard nothing but good things about it, so I'm looking forward to reading this one. And let's see, I'll put these 2 back in here. And moving along with the theme of murder, apparently, I like to try to read Murder on Painted Place. This one happens on a secluded island. It's a murder mystery along the lines of, say, And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. This is by a young Newfoundland author, Emily Hepditch. So I've had this one for a few months now, so I'd really like to try to read this one as well. Another one I'd like to try to read is Kathy Reichs' Grave Secrets. It's the 5th book in the Temperance Brennan series. And I think in this book she travels to... Where is it she travels to? She travels to Guatemala, I believe, for this one. So I'm going to try to get to this one this month, hopefully, and continue on with the series. Another one I'd like to read, since there's a lot of murder, thriller, mystery, crime in books I've chosen. We're going to try something different. And that's The Teller of Small Fortunes by Julie Leong. I got this one back in November from Book of the Month. And this one is, it's a debut fantasy. Tao is an immigrant fortune teller traveling between villages with just her trusty mule for company. She tells only small fortunes, whether it will hail next week, which boy the barmaid will kiss, when the cat will calf. She knows from bitter experience that big fortunes come with big consequences. Even if it's a lonely life, it's better than the one she left behind. But a small fortune unexpectedly becomes something more when a semi-reformed thief and an ex-mercenary recruit her into their desperate search for a lost child. Soon they're joined by a baker with a need for adventure and, of course, a slightly magical cat. Tau starts down a new path with companions as big-hearted as her fortunes are small. But as she lowers her walls, the shadows of her past close in, and she'll have to decide whether to risk everything to preserve the family she never thought she could have. So this one sounds really interesting, so I like to try to get to that one. And I also, this is another maybe, Record of a Spaceborn View by Becky Chambers. I think this is the third book in the Wayfarer series. I'm not sure if you can read them each one on their own or not, but I have been reading them in order. So this is a sci-fi. So hundreds of years ago, the last humans left Earth. After centuries wandering empty space, humanity was welcomed, mostly by the species that govern the Milky Way, and their generational journey came to an end. But this is old history. Today, the Exodus fleet is a living relic, a place many are from but few outsiders have seen. When a disaster rocks this already fragile community, those Exodans who have not yet left for alien cities struggle to find a way in an uncertain future. Among them are a mother, a young apprentice, an alien academic, a caretaker for the dead, a man searching for a place to belong, and an archivist who ensures no one's story is forgotten. Each has their own voice, but all seek answers to inescapable questions. Why remain among the stars when there are habitable worlds within reach? And what is the purpose of a ship that has reached its destination? So this one I'd like to try to read this month. I'm not sure if I will or not. And also taking part in Buzzword Reading Challenge. And for February, the word, it's water words. So like water, sea, river, ocean. So any book that has something like that in the title. And the ones that I had for that was, and also the cover challenge is a book with a skyline on the cover. So I do have a couple of books that would take care of both those challenges, and I have some that would take care of one. Like this one here, Murder on Painted Place. There is a skyline in that one. And let's see, the other one, with the water word, the bookshop at Water's End. There's that one. I'm not sure. Sunrise by the Sea by Jenny Colgan. That one has the word sea, and there is a skyline in it. And I'm not sure if I'll read that one. This one is like a romance type one. In Sea of Unspoken Things, it's about twins, James and Johnny Golden. James, she had a strong connection with her twin brother, Johnny. And when he's killed in a tragic accident, she knows before her phone even rings that her brother's gone. And so she goes to the secluded town of Six Rivers, California, to settle her brother's affairs. And she's forced to revisit the ominous events of their shared past and finally face Micah, the only other person who knows her secrets and the only man she has ever loved. So it seems like it's interesting. A lot of mystery in this one. So this might be the one I'll probably end up reading, I think, for that challenge. For sure. And there are some other books, a few books I got recently this in January. I'm going to pick up one of the shorter books in between to kind of separate some of the murder, crime, mystery. It depends on which books I read when. So those are just some of the possibilities. Now in this jar here, I will pick another book for February from my TBR books I've had on my shelves the longest, at least 5 years, 5 to 6 years at least. So I will pick one and see what one I have to read in February. Let's see. Okay. Oh, it's another big one. Seems like I've picked the biggest ones first. I don't know if you can see that one. That one is called Alias Grace by Margaret Atwood. Actually, I'll get that one off the shelf there now, I guess. While I'm at it, if I can, it's right on the bottom. Oh, there. Let's see if I can get it. This is another big book. I'm starting with the bigger ones. Oh, let's see. My throat is getting dry again. All right, so this is Alias Grace by Margaret Atwood. And this one is, let's see. I'm not sure if this was based on a true story, fictionalized. And I think there's actually a miniseries or a movie or something. I'm not sure. I have to look that up before I start reading it. So it says here, Margaret Atwood takes us back in time and into the life and mind of one of the most enigmatic and notorious women of the 19th century. Grace Marks has been convicted for her involvement in the vicious murders of her employer, the wealthy Thomas Kinnear, and of Nancy Montgomery, his housekeeper and mistress. Some believe Grace is innocent, others think her evil or insane. Now serving a life sentence after a stint in Toronto's lunatic asylum, Grace herself claims to have no memory of the murders. Dr. Simon Jordan, an up-and-coming expert in the burgeoning field of mental illness, is engaged by a group of reformers and spiritualists who seek a pardon for Grace. He listens to her story from her family's difficult passage out of Ireland into Canada to her time as a maid in Thomas Kinnear's household. As he brings Grace closer and closer to the day she cannot remember, he hears of the turbulent relationship between Kinnear and Nancy Montgomery, and of the alarming behavior of Grace's fellow servant, James McDermott. Jordan is drawn to Grace, but he's also baffled by her. What will he find in attempting to unlock her mysteries? Is Grace a female fiend, a bloodthirsty femme fatale, or is she a victim of circumstances? Alias Grace is a beautifully crafted work of the imagination that reclaims a profoundly mysterious and disturbing story from the past century. With compassion and unsentimental lyricism and her customary narrative virtuosity, Margaret Atwood mines the often convoluted relationships between men and women, and between the affluent and those without position. The result is her most captivating, disturbing, and ultimately satisfying work since The Handmaid's Tale. In short, vintage Atwood. So this book came out, when did it come out? It came out in 1996. Actually, this is actually a first edition. I think I paid $1 for this at a thrift store. First edition, Margaret Atwood. Actually, I had a different edition of this one, just a paperback, and then when I saw this one in the thrift store, I had to pick it up. So this is from the 1800s, and it does seem very interesting. I don't know why I haven't read it. I've had it on my shelves for years. So I'm looking forward to reading that one. And I still have to finish this one in February, Moby Dick. I'm about halfway through it. So I'll finish that one in February. I have to read this one. This one is, how many pages? This one is not short. This one is 468 pages. This one is. So some of these books here might get moved to a different month, depending. So I really want to read books that have been on my shelves longest. I want to read those, get through those. So some of the newer books might have to wait. But we'll have to wait and see. Depends on how my reading month goes, because of course February is a shorter month. So that's it for now, and I'll see you soon with another video. Thanks for watching. Bye.